This is Michael Blackstone with LeeTalkRadio, and today our guest is Ron Anderson. Ron is the owner of Lone Pine Exterminating Company. Ron, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike.
Ron, tell us a little about Lone Pine Exterminating, how long you've been in business, and the basics of your company.
Actually, my dad started, Mike, in 1956, and I grew up on a termite and pest control truck, became full-time in 1971. I officially have passed that 50-year mark, but I'm enjoying it more all the time.
Wow.
Thanks to the customers and the people you get to meet. They're just wonderful out in the environments we work in. Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, Eastern Kentucky, those areas. And it's just wonderful people, and we get to meet a lot of them and provide services that are needed. And we really enjoy our work.
That's awesome. So tell us about some of the services that your company does.
The termite and pest control business involves basically two categories. One of them is wood destroying insects, which is your subterranean, North American subterranean termites. You'll find your powder post beetles, usually three classes of those, beginning with ambrosia and licted, which looks like a piece of wood that's been shot with buckshot, small holes, dust falling out of it. The termite damage, you'll always find the dirt carried from the soil underneath the structure up into the damaged part of the wood and packed where they make an air conditioning system where they can remain at about 75 degrees year round. It doesn't matter if there's ice on that wall or 150 degrees on that wall, the termites are perfectly comfortable working 24/7 destroying the structure. Those are two things that's unseen most of the time and found, unfortunately, by homeowners when repairs have to be done by them. We recommend people get a free inspection at any time they like and discover termites before damage is done, thus saving that part of the expense that they would have as homeowners and or business owners.
How prevalent is termites? I mean, do you find them more than not, or?
On the average, if we were doing it for closings where a WDI, which is wood destroying insect infestation reports, are required at long closings, we'll average treating about 4 out of every 10 in that area. That's the prevalence of termites across the region. They are extremely severe, always have been. Termites are in the forest are full of them. Even treated wood that today is destroyed by termites because it doesn't have the arsenic nor the treatment in it to prevent termites from damaging it. Like landscape timbers you place around your yard, some mulch, those are just attractants that really help cause the problem to bring termites to your home.
That's interesting. So this time of year is this a special time of the year coming in spring for termite activity, or is there other type of pests as well?
Yeah, actually, termite issues are year round. However, in the springtime, depending on weather, and it can start as early as February in this region here, you get 3 to 4 days of 74-degree weather in a row, and termites will begin to swarm. Now, those swarmers are going to be small black insects with clear silverish-looking wings. They may swarm out in the house, in a portion of the house, around a baseboard, come out of corners, cracks, crack cement, anywhere that they can gain access to the outside. This swarm represents to the homeowner, hey, I've got a problem. And most never think of termites until that swarm occurs. That's why that free inspection anytime is so important, to find the termites before the swarm. Because before the swarm, it takes 3 to 5 years for termites to begin to produce the swarmers. So you actually had damage 3 to 5 years prior to the swarm.
And what does a swarm actually mean? What is that? When you see a swarm, what is that meaning to you?
It's the reproductive cycle of the North American subterranean termite. Those swarmers are going to swarm toward the light because they're blind. A lot of them are going to die around the windowsills and different places where there's most light. If they swarm outside, it could be hundreds or thousands of them came out of an existing nest, and at the same time, depending on which way the breeze is going, is where they're going to take two little termites on a little nuptial flight And where they land, and if the soil is convenient enough with a high enough moisture content, they begin another nest there, wherever that takes place.
Gotcha.
They're an amazing creature.
So if you're seeing a swarm, it's the pre fact of damage about to be done, or it's the after fact that damage has already been done, and now we're moving the nests or continuing the nesting.
It depends on whether it's the first storm or not. Swarm or not. It could be that there's been many swarms and they swarmed on the exterior and the homeowner or business owner's not seen them. Then by the time they've done enough damage to where they swarm inside, usually there's some damage. Most of the time the remediation on that's pretty simple though. You eliminate the termites, you eliminate the problem with a standard treatment. What we use, Termidor SC, which is the very best termiticide that was ever built. I come from the days of DDT, which is didurotechnochloride, aldrin, dieldrin. Those were chlorinated hydrocarbons, and it required a different type of treatment than today. Termidor placed around the structure of the house, in crawl spaces, in core holes of blocks, in voids between brick, rock, and block. You now have a 100% guarantee that no matter how termites come to affect your home, they're going to come in contact with Termidor. And with that Termidor, they're going to carry it to the other nests in the area, up into the wood where the damage is being done, and all of them are going to be infected with this and eliminated completely, without a doubt.
Gotcha. So if a person is seeing this happening, is it a pretty easy treatment? Once they get a hold of you, you can treat this and have a good, effective rate at getting rid of them, or is this something where you got to leave the house and the house has got to be tinted and all kinds of other crazy stuff?
Mike, the treatment with Termidor, which is actually a non-odor termiticide, is actually a soil treatment. All treatments for termites, you cut them off in the soil, because every 24 to 48 hours, no matter where they're working in the studs of the walls or what part of the structure, they have to go back to the soil. When they go back to the soil, they actually regurgitate a portion of the cellulose debris out of the soft grain of the wood for the little termites until they can have time to go up in the wood, until they mature enough. At that same time, they bring some dirt with them to keep that moisture in there to control the temperature. When the termite treatment is done, today we're telling clients all over the country here, we can give you a treatment that's going to last for at least 20 years. All that depends on the moisture content of the soil, who does the treatment, what percentage of Termidor is used in the mix. And we use a .125, which is maximum label for our customers, because we want them to have absolutely security in their mind that, hey, I've had a treatment, I trust the people that do it, I'm good for 20 years. If I have a problem, they're going to tell me. That's the goal you do to provide for your customers.
Gotcha. So is there some form of a guarantee or warranty that's offered with these kind of services, or is that tough in the?
Absolutely. The manufacturers of Termidor is BASF Corporation. Through our company, they offer a 10-year manufacturer's guarantee of that when it's done according to specifications. And we treat them all according to specifications. At the same time, Lone Pine offers a 1-year guarantee from date of treatment with a renewal available to those. Prices determined depend on square feet, linear feet of the structure. Each home is graphed and a price is determined. At that time, the annual amount is set at that. You pay each year to maintain your warranty. If at any time termites reappear, we retreat free of charge, no questions asked.
So so the free inspection covers all of this. You basically look at inspect the place, and then are able to give them a proper whatever quote that is for that kind of.
Yes, sir. Whether it be a crawl space, basement, whether it's finished basement, unfinished basement, part crawl space, part concrete, and a lot of homes have had carports added to them, and later they would put wood over top of the concrete and enclose it and make a den or make a living area out of it on the inside of the house. This is the worst case scenario because you've got broken up concrete here with wood on top of it, and there's always moisture underneath the concrete. and the termites need that moisture to build those tunnels and maintain. So now you put the food supply right in their mouth by virtue of the type construction you've done. And to treat that, in prior times, you would have to pull up any carpeting, linoleum, or whatever's on the floor, drill through that, and then drill through the concrete, treat it, seal all that, and place that back. With Termidor, you can treat that with a soil treatment, and the termites will carry that Termidor to wherever that damage is being taken place and eliminate the termites.
Gotcha.
That's the technology that's been welcomed by me because I've drilled many concrete floors and repairs.
Right. So what other pesky creatures are coming out this time of year? Everything seems to be hatching, but
That's true. And this time of year, you're going to get a 70% hatch of all the insects out here in the world. In the fall, you're going to get a 30%. The pest control portion of that, on the exterior where you can see wood being damaged, would be carpenter bees, which are boring a little 3/8 inch hole in the wood and ejecting what looks like shavings from a saw when you cut, just like sawdust. That little creature is so annoying and so damaging that if not taken care of immediately, it will destroy the fascia on homes, wooden posts that are used on porches, decks, and places, and they'll have to be replaced. That's expensive given the price of lumber today. So it makes much more sense to eliminate the problem and stop it before it's destroyed, because that carpenter bee is going to lay eggs in there this year. They're going to hatch next year. They're going to be more and more until the wood is actually riddled and you can break it apart with your hands, whether it's a 4x4, 6x6, 2x2. They're extremely destructive. And that's on the aesthetic part of the property where you can actually see it, unlike termites or carpenter ants that are working in walls where you can't see that until after the fact. Maybe you pull a piece of paneling off the wall and find their damage, or you're repairing or adding to your home. But the carpenter bees are going to do it right in front of you. And then buzz your head just to make you feel bad about it.
Right. How is the how about spiders?
Yeah.
Roaches, all in that.
The arachnids are the two that we need to worry about. It's black widow spider and the brown recluse. Now these two, they're very self-defensive and kind of like to stay to themselves. That brown recluse may be in the top of a closet somewhere, and he'd be right there where nothing can ever interfere with him until you clean out the closet, and then all of a sudden you get bit.
Right.
The black widow's going to be in the crawl space walls and places like this. They proliferate greatly in those environments. The ideal for that would be to do a general pest service. A general pest service would involve spraying a crawl space, taking a hand sprayer, coming inside with another non-odor chemical, baseboards, corners, moldings, places like that, and solve that problem. That would take care of spiders, ants. The perimeter treatment on the exterior is going to take care of the wasps, the bees, and all those. And for those people that do termite treatments with them, we give them a free general pest service while we're there. We want everything dead, and we don't want the consumers out here to say, hey, I had my house treated, but I still have these bugs. When hey, they hired you to kill termites, but you got waspers. So why not just eliminate them all while you're there in the service and help your client out? And basically with the client that becomes a customer, you then have someone who will refer you and say they've done a good job. And that's our whole goal, to make sure our customers are pest-free and refer us to their neighbor or someone else.
So let's say you come in and you do your service. What if I have pets, small children, but mainly thinking in the lines of dogs and cats? Does this affect them? Is this something that they need to be away from, or?
No, sir. There's never been a case where that pesticides in the modern era has had any effect on any animals or pets. They're safe with pets, animals. We put the same thing in homes we put in hospitals. We put them in bottling plants, food production places. We use the same chemicals that are safe. How are they much safer than the ones in the past? The ones in the past attacked the nervous system. And by having that particular element in DDT or chlordane or diazinon, one of those main factors of the past, that odor was so bad, a lot of people had to leave home to get their home sprayed. Well, that meant the animals had to leave too. So those days are gone and been gone a long time. And today you can actually spray homes inside, businesses every month, which the state requires, and have an absolutely safety record. We've had a perfect safety record throughout our careers. And by the way we mold things, we do not like one thing about spraying inside of a home. Monthly pest control is putting a poison in your home every month. We don't do that. We do the clean out, show up semi-annually, or maybe once a year would do, especially where most homeowners have very sanitary homes, and that means a lot, where you'll go in and just eliminate a small problem of a wasp coming in around a window, a roach issue. You don't need to keep following up with a poison inside of a home continuously. I find that not to be healthy because it creates a buildup and it's no good. And it works through the stomach, not the central nervous system. That makes it a little safer. It takes a little bit longer for it to eliminate the insect, but it is safer because when that breaks down in the environment, it is completely harmless.
Gotcha. So the difference, people would ask, Ron, what does hiring a company like you versus, say, going down to the Walmart and getting this self-defense bottle of stuff for $20 and spray it myself? What's the differences there? I know that's a...
The main difference here is experience. Experience creates a better technician. Without experience, you're gonna go up against a sophisticated society of destructive geniuses, and that's what termites are. And to just spray a spot or just put something out there, it might look like that solves the problem momentarily, but they're still there. You just can't see them. And what you purchase is basically 99% water with a little active ingredient in it. Usually they'll say 97.5 on the AI, which is active ingredient, and have on the water and this active ingredient at 1.5. That's not enough. And you're going to think long term with termites, wood destroying insects, because you invest in your home, you insure your home, you want to protect your home, and you want some protections long term. For spiders, ants, wasps, and bees, if you use anything across the counter, every time it rains, you're going to have to go out and spray it again. With the chemicals we use, which is EPA approved for the purpose, you get a longer residual. And that residual is what makes the difference. It will last long term. About 65% of our customers today are done annually, once per year with perimeter treatments, once the initial problems are solved. The others, semi-annually because of locations of where they live. You may live near ponds, creeks, rivers. You may live too close to environments that are producing too many insects that breed over to you through no fault of your own, but you need more service because of it. So you may need a semi-service. Different situations and different environments require different treatments. This is where the experience makes a difference.
So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, get their free inspection stuff, the best way to do that is through your toll-free number. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
and you also have a website. So Lone Pine Exterminating Company can be found online at lonepinepestcontrol.com.
Yes, sir.
And then your toll-free number is 844-754-1190.
That's correct.
And so a person just calls and says they want a free inspection. And obviously, let's mention that you heard this on Lee Talk Radio. Ron, you're a wealth of information in this area. I encourage people to get a hold of you. This is the time of the year for getting those inspections done and making sure that these pests are gone from your property. And so with that, we're going to call this a wrap. And once again, contact Lone Pine Exterminating Company, 844-754-1190. Ron, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Mike, and I really appreciate it.